Welcome to the Royal Calcutta Turf Club Calcutta Races Summer Meeting 9-day Wednesday 10th April 2024 race preview. The first race of the afternoon is the famed Star Handicap for horses rated 21 to 46, rated 1 to 26, eligible to be run over a distance of 1100 meters. First couple of runners are Zanetta, Indian Tiger. This is from race number 154 where they went over 1100 meters. Zanetta, who was having first start on the Calcutta track, raced in 11th spot throughout and eventually finished on 11th. Indian Tiger, who raced in second spot most of the while into the last 200 meters, started to really backpedal and eventually finished on 7th. The winner here was Zuka, who got that race by 5.5 lengths. Number 3 is Embankment. 3 starts for Embankment so far in the season. First up finished on 4th in race number 68, then a 12th place finished out of 14 runners in race number 95. Last start was in 6th spot, then came up with a run towards the tad end of the race on the wide outside and got into the money. Finished on 3rd behind My Princess, who got that race by half a length. Couple of runners again, East Side, Rizina, Mr. Perfect, Extravagant Star. They're from race number 163 where East Side raced in 8th spot throughout and finished on 8th. Rizina, who was racing up with the pace into the last 200 meters, then started to slide back through the field, finished on 9th. We had Mr. Perfect, who took the turn in 11th spot, made some late gains towards the inside, eventually finished on 6th. Extravagant Star, who took the turn in 5th spot, definitely was an eye catcher, eventually finished on 3rd. Number 8 is Eagle Spirit. Couple of starts for Eagle Spirit so far. Race number 90 finished on 3rd behind Liban. Then in race number 110 finished on 2nd again to Flamingo Road. This start was a 3rd start. In race number 138 was in 7th spot as they entered the home straight. Then started to really come up with a big run. Eventually finished on 3rd. The winner here was Tika, who got that race by 2 lengths. Moving on to the second race of the year after the Nikita Handicap, a no-whip race for horses rated 41 to 66, rated 21 to 46, eligible to be run over a distance of 1100 meters. First runner we are looking at is K-Star, who's had a few starts in the season. Best start was his first start where finished on 2nd in race number 66 behind the Doom. Since then 4 unplaced efforts including this one where took the turn in 2nd spot, was in a forward position but started to really drop back and eventually finished on 7th. The winner here was Fortune Teller, who got that race by almost 4 lengths. Number 3 is Jaw Lafette. Jaw Lafette had a good start to the season with a 2nd placed efforts behind Clifford in race number 34. Since then couple of efforts were 4th and 5th, and last 2 starts have been off the board. Finished on 6th in race number 145. This start was in 9th spot throughout, eventually finished on 9th. The winner again was Zuka, who got that race by almost 5.5 lengths. Number 4 is Greenwich. Greenwich has come down from southern India. This was the first start where in race number 170 was in 5th spot as Greenwich, then started to drop back, eventually finished on 2nd. Last the winner here was 26 Black, who got that race in a 3-way finish by a half a length. Number 5 is Bundle of Charm. The start for Bundle of Charm was in race number 63, which was definitely an eye-catching run for Bundle of Charm. Took the turn in 3rd spot, then came up with a run down the center and eventually just fell short by 3 parts of a length. The winner here was Sparkle of Shine, who got that race by 3 parts of a length. Today Bundle of Charm ridden by Haridas Gore, who claims couple of kilos off. Number 6, Dali Swirl. Dali Swirl has had a start in the Calcutta track that was in race number 151 where it took the inside passage and was started to really close down on the winner, which was My Princess, but eventually fell short by half a length. Dali Swirl today ridden by A Sandesh. Number 7 is Castillo. A couple of eye-catching starts for Castillo so far. First up in race number 104, finished on 3rd to Sporting Trainer in a 3-way finish. Then in race number 122, My Princess got the measure of Castillo by a head. And today the mount of P. Siddharaju, who claims a couple of kilos off. Moving on to the third race of the afternoon, the Amalita Handicap for horses rated 21 to 46, rated 1 to 26, eligible to be run over a distance of 1200 meters. First runner we are looking at it is Sporting Trainer, who's had back-to-back wins earlier part of the season in race number 77 and race number 104. Since then, 3 unplaced efforts, including the run we are looking at is from race number 154, where it took the turn in 12th spot, made up a couple of placings but eventually finished on 10th of 12 runners. The winner here was Zuka. Number 2 is King Roger. A couple of eye-catching starts so far for King Roger in the season. That was in race number 61. First start for it in the Calcutta track, finished on 3rd. And the last start, the one we are looking at in race number 157, where it took the turn in 5th spot and started to bridge the gap, eventually finished on 3rd. The winner here was All-Time Legend, who won that race by 6 1/4 lengths. 3 runners from race number 165, Italian Gold, who's been knocking on the doors. A few placed efforts for Italian Gold in the season. Over here, took the turn in 5th spot, then came up and finished on in the money 3rd. Number 5 was Liban, who was a winner in earlier start in race number 90. Over here, Liban in a start to finish mission, but was left with nothing in the tank into the last 200 meters, dropped back and eventually finished on 10. Number 8 was Tender Heart, who was a winner of couple of starts already in the season. Over here, Tender Heart finished on 5th. The winner here was Speculator. Couple of runners from race number 151, UV and Selamore. UV, who was in 7th spot, eventually dropped back and finished on 12th in a field of 14 runners. Selamore, who came wide of the track, was coming down with a big run but eventually could only finish on 4th. The winner here was My Princess, who got that race by half a length. Number 6, I Smell the Danger, started off the season and career with a win in race number 78, getting the measure of blue chip. Last start was a little slowly out of the gates, was in 12th spot as they entered the home straight, then eventually made up a placing and finished on 11th. Today the mount of Arman Khan, I Smell the Danger. Number 7, Flamingo Road, after knocking on the doors on a few starts, finally came good in race number 110, where got the measure of Eagle's Flight and over 1200 meters. Last start, Flamingo Road took the turn in 5th spot, was a little flat-footed, eventually finished on 5th. The winner here was Blackstone, who got that race by 4.5 lengths. Number 9, Trebia finished on 3rd in an earlier start, then 3 unplaced efforts. Finally, in last start, in race number 156, went over 1200 meters, was in 2nd spot, then into the 100-meter mark, took charge and won that race, beating Elite into 2nd. Number 11 is Cuban Pete, who's had a few starts in this season, has not placed in any of them, 5 starts to be precise. Last start was in race number 152, where took the turn in 4th spot, then when came under pressure, started to slide through the field and finished on 7th of 9 runners. The winner here was Dubai Station, who came up with a late bid and won the race by length and 3/4. We move on to the 4th race of the year after the Star Style Girl Cup for horses rated 1 to 26 to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. We got a field of 8 for this one. Number 1 is Elias, who had the 5 starts so far. Best start was definitely the last start, where finished on 3rd. This was in race number 169. Elias was travelling in 5th spot for most while, then came up with a run and eventually finished on 3rd on the wide outside. And the mount of Haridas Gore, who claims couple of kilos off on Elias. Number 2, Regency Gold, who's also had 5 starts so far, unplaced in all 5 starts so far. Best start was definitely the first start, where it finished on 5th in an 8-horse field. Last start was in race number 140, where it took the turn in 12th spot, made up a few placings and finished on 10th of 14 runners. The winner here was DRD, who practically made this a start to finish affair. Number 3 is Zargel. This was the first start for Zargel. This was in race number 162, where ran in third spot most while and eventually finished on third in a small field where it went over 1600 meters. Today the mount of Rafiq Sheikh. Free runners, this is from race number 168, where Elite, who's finished on second in his last 3 starts, and last time also she was in 5th spot, came up with a run towards the inside, and eventually all it could do was finish on second. The winner was Fulcrum. Then we had number 6, which is Sangeeta, who's had 4 starts so far, finished on 4th last 2 starts. And number 7 is Historic. Travelled in 3rd spot most while and finished on 3rd, almost 8 lengths from the winner. Number 5 is Palcha. Palcha has had 4 starts so far. Best start was his last start, where Palcha raced in 4th spot, eventually finished on 3rd in a small field. And after the race, Palcha was noted to be trotting lame. Today the mount of Mohit Singh. Number 8, Pelagia. Perfect stride out of Alaric. 5 starts for Pelagia. Finished on 5th last start after travelling in 2nd spot most of the while. Then eventually started to drop back and finished on last. The winner here was Cristaldo, who made every post a winning one. Moving on to the 5th race of the after, the Haunting Memories Handicap for horses rated 1 to 26 to be run over a distance of 1600 meters. We're looking at a couple of runners. First up, from race number 138, where we had Magnite and Mars. Magnite, who travelled in 4th spot throughout and eventually started to backpedal and finished on 2nd last. Mars, who was in 9th spot as they entered the home straight, then started to make late progress towards the inside and finished on 4th. The winner here was Tika, who got that race by 2 lengths. Number 2 is Divine Chakra. Divine Chakra, after a long layoff, had a start in race number 168, where was in 6th spot in the turn and finished on 6th. The winner here was Fulcrum, who got that race by a widening margin of 7 lengths. Number 3 is Maiden Heaven, who's had 5 starts so far in the season. Couple of placed efforts, board efforts I should say. Last start was in race number 165, where it took the turn in 4th spot, then ran out of gas and eventually finished on 8th of 11 runners. The winner here was Speculata. Number 4, Sun God, after having a change of yard, has had a couple of starts, once over 2000 meters where it finished on 2nd, this time over 1600 meters, was in race number 162, was in 2nd spot, then came up with a run and almost got the race, but just missed out by the fighting back Yovar and fell short by a neck. The mount of Sujit Kumar Paswan today. We move on to the 6th race of the year, the Accomplished Cup for horses rated 81 and above, rated 61 to 86, eligible to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. First up, we got Savvy Chick, and this was from race number 166, where Savvy Chick made every post a winning one. Eventually had almost 3 parts of a length to share from Stockbridge, who finished on 2nd. Number 2 is Ironclad, who's had 3 stars after coming from southern India. In race number 135 was its penultimate start, finished on 2nd to Siege Perilous. Last start was in race number 147, took the turn in 4th spot, then came up with a run on the outside and finished on 3rd. And after the race, it was noted that Ironclad was trotting lame. Couple of runners. This is from race number 158 where we had Gazino and True Marshall. Gazino was in 5th spot, then came up with a run and got into the place money, finished on 2nd. True Marshall, who was in 4th spot throughout and finished on 4th. The winner here was Black Eagle, who won that race by almost 6 lengths. Number 6, Flying Scotsman. Couple of starts for Flying Scotsman after coming down from Western India. First time in race number 57 over 1600 meters, got the measure of Oh My Darling. The one we are looking at is from race number 80. Its last start went over 1600 meters again, was in 4th spot, then weaved a passage towards the inside and eventually got the measure of Sonata, finished on length and a 3/4 behind. We move on to the 7th race of the afternoon, the Averhoff handicap for horses rated 21 to 46, rated 1 to 26, eligible to be run over a distance of 1600 meters. First up, we got 3 runners. This is from race number 173. Power Racer, definitely the eye catcher, was in 3rd spot, then took the passage towards the inside and absolutely blew the field away. Won that race by 8 lengths. Number 6 is Cristaldo, was a winner in earlier start, where it also pulverized the opposition by 8.5 lengths. Over here, Cristaldo finished on 4th. Number 9 is Dubai Dunes. Dubai Dunes was in 9th spot, came up with a run on the wide outside but only could finish on 6th, and Dubai Dunes was slowly out of the gates. Couple of runners. Number 2, Dubai Station. Number 4, Angel Light. Dubai Station, what a start this was for Dubai Station. Was in 6th spot at the bend, then came up with a run on the wide outside and took charge into the last 100 meters and won that race by a length and 3/4. Angel Light, who was in 9th spot, made up a few placings and eventually finished on 8th of 9 runners. The winner was Dubai Station. Three runners. This is from race number 159. We had Super Rakiga, who was a winner in earlier start in race number 142. Over here, Super Rakiga was in 6th spot, stayed on in 6th. Number 5 was Oremelo, who was also a winner in earlier start in race number 139. Over here, Oremelo finished on 3rd. We have number 8, which is Tez. Tez, who fought tooth and nail with George Everest for the last 200 meters and eventually just fell short by a neck. Today, the mount of Neeraj Rawal is Tez. Number 7, Almaz, winner of an earlier start in race number 44. Over here, Almaz was practically planted at the gate and finished on a detached last. The winner here was My Princess. Number 10 is Your War. Your War, winner of a last start, where in race number 162 went on a start to finish mission for a while. Sun God took over the running, but the guts of Your War came into play and fought back towards the inside and eventually got the race by a neck. Today again the mount of Mustaqim Alam. Number 11, MSG Fantasy, who's had a few starts in this season, has not really bothered the place getters. Last start was in race number 149, where it took the turn in 4th spot, then started to drop back a little bit and eventually finished on 6th. The winner here was Hoping Sky, who got that race by 4 lengths. We move on to the 8th and last race of the day, the Treasure Land Handicap for horses rated 41 to 66, rated 21 to 46, eligible to be run over a distance of 1600 meters. We got 10 runners going to purse for this one. First up, we got 3 runners from race number 157. Clever Hans, who was in 6th spot, stayed on in 6th. We had number 3, Stunning Force, who was in 4th spot, also stayed on in 4th for most while, and number 8 was She Is Our Star, who took the turn in 3rd spot, then came up with a run and finished off 2nd. The winner here was all-time legend, who went further and further away from the field. Number 2, Ivanhoe. Couple of starts for Ivanhoe after switching base from Hyderabad. First start was in race number 161, where finished on 6th. Last start was in 4th spot, then bridged the gap, but nonetheless finished on last of 4 runners. The winner here was Mandela, who made every post a winning one. Number 4 is Celtic Harlequin. Celtic Harlequin has had 4 starts so far. First start was in race number 70, finished on 3rd, then race number 108, finished on 4th. Race number 123 finished on 10th. Last start took the turn in 9th spot. This was in race number 148, made up some late gains and finished on 5th. The winner here was Blackstone, who got that race by 4.5 lengths. 3 runners from race number 170. We had Maktub, who took the turn in 3rd spot, then fell back a couple of placings and finished on 5th. We had Embreeze, who travelled a little wide throughout the race and eventually finished on 9th. We had number 9, which was Horus the Great, who was in 8th spot, made up a placing and eventually finished on 7th. The winner here was 26 Black, who got that race by half a length in a 3-way finish. Number 7 is Rowdy, who's a sparingly raced horse. Couple of starts so far in the season. First up in race number 6, finished on 8 to Kalahari goal. Last start was in race number 131. Went over 1100 meters, was in 7th spot as they entered the home straight, then eventually finished on 8th of 12 runners. The winner here was Zuccardi, who got that race by a long neck. Lastly, we got number 10, Felix. Felix was really shaping like a winner into the last 200 meters in race number 152. Did everything right until Dubai Station flashed onto the scene on the wide outside and broke the heart of the backers of Felix, who had to eventually settle for 2nd spot today, the mount of Neeraj Rawal. So that's the lineup for the day, ladies and gentlemen. See you at the races. Best of luck and thank you for watching.